You ever seen the plasmate orbs at night or day that float through the sky? The phenomenon is becoming more frequent, and the best explanation I have seen comes from a book written in 1993, Arctos, by Jocelyn Godwin. She explains the Supreme Center manifests itself through phenomena called manisolas, which have been held since the earliest time in religious awe, an entirely different kind of UFO from the German disc or bell-shaped aerial craft. The manisolas are biomachines which live, reproduce, and die through a 7-part life cycle. They begin as circles of pure light, then crystallize into a metallic form with a high zirconium content. This is the female form, materialized. It then develops a masculine phallic element, which brings it to an androgenic equilibrium. Thereupon, a regeneration program begins, and the nucleus of a new manisola grows in its womb. The regenerated part is expelled by the remaining mother nucleus as a new energetic circle of light, corresponding to a birthing technique. The new circle enters on the same 7-stage development, while the expelling maternal element rolls itself into a ball, which then explodes. The metallic remains contain particles of copper. The optical impressions that eyewitnesses of these manisolas have had up to now are basically quite uniform. In the daytime, they display an extremely bright gold or silver luminescence, sometimes with traces of rose-colored smoke, which then often condense into grayish-white trails. At night, the discs shine in glowing or glossy colors, showing an occasional long flames at the edges and red and blue sparks, which can grow so strong as to wreath them in fire. Most remarkable is their power of reaction against pursuers, like that of a rational creature, far exceeding any possible electronic self-steering or radio control. What we appear to have here is an explanation of the German Foo Fighters, which were recorded during World War II. This excerpt from Arctos is the only writing I have seen that goes into explaining this orb phenomena, which I partly agree with. Interestingly, she uses the term manisolas, as manisola was the central spiritual ritual and initiation ceremony of the Cathars, a medieval Christian Gnostic group that was heavily persecuted. During the rite, a ritual laying on of hands transmitted the Holy Spirit, admitting the believer into the rank of perfecti. Possibly these orbs were present during the ritual as a physical interface for the Supreme Center. To expand on this, I feel the orbs are multidimensional sentient beings, connected to ourselves, our nervous systems, and consciousness. A book called Story of Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions, tells of a square in a 2-dimensional universe who is visited by a 3-dimensional sphere. The square is unable to see the sphere as anything other than a circle. When the sphere levitates up and down through Flatland, the square can only see the circle expand and retract, not the entirety of the sphere. I see this as the best literal analogy of us only being able to see a limited portion of what the orb really is, with our limited physical perception, being a ball of light moving through space. These orbs seem as if they can be summoned, or a part of the phenomenon is linked to our consciousness, which is not currently understood by most people. I also feel that by viewing these orbs, the light emitted from them literally goes into our brain and other feedback systems. As light is information, I think this information could be kind of like an encrypted data that our mind and subconscious store and then decrypt at later times when needed. As Philip K. Dick said, the logos would be living information, capable of replicating not through information/in information, but as information. As living information, the plasmate travels up the optic nerve of a human to the pineal gland. I feel these orbs will have a major impact on the next stage of humanity in the near future.